A very good afternoon and welcome to this edition of Lunchtime News. I'm Katharina Chang. Let's take a look at your headlines. Over 70,000 people affected due to inclement weather. Rising water levels of the Kanni River inundate Biyagama and Malwana lowlands. GMOA charges that the government does not have a plan to combat dengue. MERS virus death toll rises to 282 in Saudi Arabia. And Sri Lanka wins ODI series against England 3-2. On to the stories in detail. The landslide warning issued by the National Building Research Organisation for the districts of Kalutara, Ratnapura, Galle, Nuvareliya, Kegalle and Badulla has been extended by 24 hours. Meanwhile, according to the Disaster Management Centre, over 75,000 persons have been affected due to flooding and landslides caused by the inclement weather. Assistant Director of the Centre, Pradeep Kodipilli, noted that a number of districts, including Kalutara, Galle, Matara, Gampa and Nuvareliya have been affected. 23 individuals have lost their lives due to inclement weather.
A number of areas including Biyagama and Malwana have been inundated as a result of the Kanni River overflowing. Gampa District Disaster Management Assistant Director Ajit Nishanta noted that steps are being taken by the Gampa District Secretariat to provide relief to those affected by the flooding. The Lakshapanda Junction in Malwana, Biyagama, which lies on the Dekatana-Colombo 226 bus route, was inundated due to the inclement weather. According to our correspondent in the area, the flow of traffic along the area was completely disrupted at around 7 a.m. today. The water level of the Kalungaga has risen to 3.9 meters. The level stood at 3.3 meters last night. A number of roads and houses on the banks of the Kalungaga have been inundated due to the rising water levels. Meanwhile, a mound of earth collapsed on a house in the Mount Vernon estate in Kottagala, Hatton. According to our correspondent, no one was injured in the incident. Meanwhile, our correspondent in Akurasa noted that a number of areas in Akurasa have been submerged due to the Nilbala River overflowing. The flow of traffic along the Akurasa-Bannagama road has been affected due to the flooding. The Disaster Management Centre meanwhile noted that 3 areas along the Mathura-Akurasa road have been inundated as well.
Now on to other developments of the weather condition. The Disaster Management Centre notes that several divisional secretariat areas in Kaduwela have been inundated as a result of the Kanni River overflowing. Colombo District Assistant Director of the Centre, Squadron Leader Channa Jatileka, noted that over 370 individuals residing in areas such as Navagamu and Vakpata have been affected by the flooding. 53 of the displaced persons are currently being housed in welfare camps. Channa Jatileka added that 1,785 individuals have also been affected in the Paduka and Sitavaka Divisional Secretariat areas. Meanwhile, the Met Department predicts that showers could be expected in a number of areas around the country today as well. Now on to other local news. Views were expressed on the dengue disease that is rapidly spreading in many parts of the country during two separate media briefings held yesterday.
59% of the patients have been reported from the Western Province. It is the province which has the most facilities and is also the hub of the political administration. The Ministries of Health, local government institutions and environment should launch a joint campaign. We don't see such a program in place. A presidential task force on dengue was created. We have no idea whether it even convenes. There is a dearth in medical staff. There is a dearth of staff to study the patterns of mosquito, as well as a dearth of public health inspectors. The central government spent millions to import the BTI bacteria, but no one knows what happened to it.
පළාත් සභාවත් ලක්ෂ ගණනක ගෙනාවා BTI වලින් වෙච්ච දෙයක් නෑ
50ක් පමණ 60ක් පමණ රෝගීන් මතුවෙන්නේ බස්නාහිර පළාතේ 4500ක් පමණ
50 to 60% of the patients are reported from the western province, around 4,500 patients. 20 dengue related deaths have also been reported. If not for the steps taken by our health sector officials, this death toll would have risen further. We have established emergency treatment units that function 24 hours a day at all major hospitals. The Negombo hospital is equipped with the best dengue unit in the world. We spent 2 million rupees on a single bed. All health service officials have come forward to combat this disease. We need to provide 1 week's notice to inspect a house or file charges. By that time, mosquitoes would have laid eggs and flown off. This is an issue for us. However, after debating with all parties, we have reached a consensus on a new law.
The birth centenary of Professor Drivira Sarachandra, renowned scholar, novelist, poet and literary critic, was commemorated under the patronage of President Mahinda Rajapaksa yesterday. Sarachandra is the first and only Sri Lankan artist to be felicitated by UNESCO. Professor Sarachandra produced his first stage play Maname in 1956 to widespread acclaim, and thereafter Singhabahu, which is widely considered as his best work. The Tamil translation of Professor Sarachandra's stage play Maname, translated by lecturer Kavitha Rajaratna, was presented to President Rajapaksa at the occasion. The first copies of a commemorative magazine were also presented to the President by Minister of Cultural Affairs T.V. Jarvatna. Time now for Crime Watch. A woman was shot dead last night in Pitukumbura area in Vedda Bandini in Bibila. The deceased was identified as 38-year-old Jalata Attanayaka, a mother of two and resident of the Pitukumbura area. The police has commenced investigations based on a complaint lodged by the victim's husband. Initial investigations have revealed that the murder may have been committed due to an extramarital affair. A suspect has not yet been arrested in connection to the murder. The magisterial inquiry into the death as well as the post-mortem inquiry into the death are due to be conducted today. Sri Lanka clinched victory in the ODI series against England. Sri Lanka won by 6 wickets at the decider, which was played off at Edgbaston, Birmingham yesterday. England won the toss and elected to bat first. The Englishmen scored a total of 219 runs at the end of the 48th over with no wickets to spare. Alistair Cook and Ian Bell partnered and put up a score of 76 for the first wicket. Ajantha Mendis took the wicket of Ian Bell for 37, while Lasith Malinga took the wicket of Gary Ballance for 10.
Hold him. So that.
Batting in reply, the Lions had to chase a total of 220 runs. TM Dilshan was the first to be taken off the pitch, with him scoring just 28 runs. Mahela Jayawardene scored his 72nd one-day half-century. He scored 53 runs. Thirimana scored 60 not out. Angelo Mathews scored 42 runs, which included 6 boundaries. Lahiru Thirimana was a judge man of the match and Lasith Malinga was a judge man of the series.